My experience as an Uber driver, the woman in labor. Sometimes a simple night behind the wheel can turn into something unforgettable. Driving for Uber, you meet people from all walks of life. But one night, I didn't just carry a passenger. I carried someone on the very edge between life and death. This is the story of the woman in labor. It was late, and the city was quiet. Neon lights glowed against wet streets, the pavement shining from a light drizzle earlier in the evening. I was tired, but I decided to take one last request before heading home. When the notification appeared on my screen, I accepted without thinking much of it. But as I pulled up to the pickup location, I saw her, standing alone under a flickering streetlight, clutching her belly, her face twisted in pain. She looked weak, terrified, desperate. I jumped out quickly, opened the back door, and helped her inside. She could barely speak, but she whispered one word, broken and fragile. Hospital. I nodded, slammed the door shut, and hit the gas. Silence in the car was thick, broken only by her groans and uneven breaths. I glanced in the rearview mirror. Her face glistened with sweat, her hands gripping the seat with all her strength. Then suddenly, a rush of water spilled across the seat. Her water had broken. My stomach tightened. Panic clawed at me, but I couldn't let her see it. I pressed harder on the accelerator, weaving through the city streets. This wasn't just a ride anymore. This was a race against time, a fight for her life and her babies. But then, the worst thing that could happen, happened. Red and blue lights lit up behind me, flashing in my rearview mirror. A police car. I was being pulled over. My heart dropped. I slowed the car, pulled to the side, and rolled down the window. The officer walked up with a stern look, ready to scold me for speeding. But then he saw her in the back seat, screaming in pain, clutching her belly, her voice echoing through the night. His expression shifted instantly. Without another word, he rushed back to his cruiser, flipped on his sirens, and shouted out the window. "Follow me." Hope surged through me. I slammed my foot on the gas, tailing his car as the sirens wailed, clearing traffic in every direction. Vehicles peeled away, making room as we cut through the night. The woman's cries grew louder, filling the car with an urgency I can still hear in my mind. My knuckles turned white on the steering wheel. I was sweating, trembling, whispering prayers under my breath, just hoping we would make it. Finally, the hospital lights appeared ahead, glowing like salvation. We screeched to a halt at the emergency entrance. In seconds, nurses and doctors rushed outside with a wheelchair. They pulled her from the back seat, surrounding her, moving with lightning speed. And then she was gone, swallowed by the bright hospital doors, leaving me alone in the silence of my car, heart pounding against my ribs. I sat frozen, drenched in sweat, realizing I had just been part of something far bigger than myself. For the first time in my life, I felt like I had done something that truly mattered. But I couldn't shake the image of her face, the sound of her voice, the way she clung to life in the back seat of my car. The next morning, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I stopped at a flower shop, bought a bouquet, and drove back to the hospital. I needed to know she was okay. Inside the lobby, under cold fluorescent lights, I held the flowers tightly, my heart full of nervous hope. That's when a nurse approached me. Her expression was heavy, her eyes filled with something I'll never forget. She spoke softly, almost like she didn't want to say it. She didn't make it. The words slammed into me like a punch. My knees weakened, the flowers nearly slipping from my trembling hands. I stood there, frozen in shock, the weight of tragedy pressing down on me. But then, the nurse added, with a trembling smile, "The baby survived." Tears filled my eyes. I didn't know whether to cry for the life that was lost, or to smile for the life that had just begun. I had carried a mother to the edge of life, and though she didn't survive, her child did. That night changed me forever. Driving for Uber, you expect to carry people from one place to another, but sometimes you carry them through their most important journey. Sometimes, through their last. I realized that night that the rides we take aren't just about destinations. They're about destiny. This wasn't just a trip. This was life and death, and it's a story I'll never forget. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more real stories that remind us how fragile, powerful, and unpredictable life can be.